So this is the new Garmin Approach S50. People have been calling this the best golf watch for golfers, or it's the sweet spot in Garmin's golf watch lineup. And you know what? They're not wrong. After using it myself, I think the S50 is amazing, but I've also come to realize that it's not perfect, and it's definitely not the right watch for everybody. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over with you the 5 reasons why you should not buy the Garmin S50. So let's do this. All right, reason number 1. If you don't pay for the Garmin subscription, the S50's features are pretty limited. So for $99 a year, you can upgrade your S50 with extra features, making it almost as good as the super high-end Garmin S70. So this means you can add things like green contour data, detailed hole maps, a virtual caddy, wind data. I mean, this might sound like the pretty good deal, but here's the thing. The least expensive Garmin Approach S70 costs $650. That's $250 more than the S50. So if you're gonna be paying $100 a year for a subscription, after 2.5 years, you've already spent more than the cost of an S70. So even though it does cost more upfront, I think the better purchase, if you're taking the long view, is the Garmin S70. But here's a real kicker. Even with the subscription, the S50 still can't do everything the S70 can. The real problem with the S50 is that if you don't pay the $100 a year subscription, this is just a very basic golf watch. The golf features out of the box are almost identical to the Garmin S44, which is $100 less. Yes, the S50 includes more health and wellness features, but as I'll talk more about, maybe those things are not that important to you. So the S50 lands in this weird middle spot. If you don't pay the subscription and you really just want a basic golf watch, you're better off just saving money and getting the S44. So as we'll discuss later on, it really is gonna narrow down who would be the perfect fit for the Garmin S50. All right, reason number 2. The Comfort Fit nylon band is definitely not for everybody. So the S50 comes with this nylon band that's narrower and lighter than the silicone bands on all the other Garmin golf watches. But I gotta tell you, it's a pain to get it on and off. The opening isn't big enough, and undoing the band to fit your hand through it is just really a nuisance. I just don't think it's that great of a design. Now don't get me wrong, I do think the nylon band is comfortable, but not once you start sweating like you would when you're playing golf or when you're exercising. So for being active, I actually think the silicone band is a better and more comfortable choice. But the good news is that it's really easy to switch out, as in all Garmin watch bands. Okay, so now we're on to reason number 3. The storage, the features are both lacking in compared to the S70. Now, one of the less talked about advantages of the Garmin Approach 70 is its superior battery life. It's rated at up to 16 days in smartwatch mode and 20 hours in GPS mode. But I can tell you, as someone who wears an S70 almost daily, it routinely outperforms those ratings. Now, the S50, on the other hand, features a much more modest 10 days of battery life in smartwatch mode and 15 hours in GPS mode. Now, the same issue extends to its internal storage. The S50 has just 4 gigs of internal storage, while the S70 has 16. So why does all that matter? Well, the S70 can store more data without slowing down. The S50 also lacks a barometric altimeter, which means it can't track elevations as accurately as the S70 for when you're using off-course activities like hiking or running. And considering one of the strongest selling points of the S50 is that it includes a lot of fitness metrics, that's definitely a limitation. Overall, the S70 is just a more feature-packed watch that performs at a way higher level. So be careful. I think that someone who may buy the S50 only to wish that down the road they had the S70. All right, reason number 4. It's not a great option if you want a bigger watch. If you're someone who has larger wrists or arms and you don't like the look of a small watch, I don't think you're gonna be that crazy about the S50. With a 1.2-inch face and a size of only 43 by 43 millimeters, this watch looks and feels on the small side. The S50, like the S44, is also a watch that sits flat on the wrist with a lower profile than something like the S70. For some people, that's perfect. But if you want a larger watch, the S70 has a 47 millimeter option, which looks and feels more substantial. Now, one thing I will say though is that no matter what the size is, the Garmin S44, the S50, and the S70 all look amazing because they have a crisp AMOLED screen. Now, what's really cool is that Garmin is now including this screen on both the S44 and the S50 at these different price points. Before, the AMOLED only came in the Garmin S70. Reason number 5, the S50 is complete overkill if you don't care about fitness tracking. One of the biggest reasons to get the S50 is its built-in heart rate monitor, which allows for an awesome amount of fitness tracking. Everything from heart rate to sleep tracking, meditation exercises, it just goes on forever. It's crazy how much fitness tracking they packed in the S50. In this regard, it's every bit of the S70 and it totally surpasses the Garmin S44. But what if you don't care about that stuff? What if you prefer not to wear your watch to bed? Maybe you don't want to know what your heart rate or keep track of your bicycle rides. Maybe you're just looking for a golf watch and aren't interested in all these advanced features and lifestyle information. Well, if that's you, I don't think the S50 is the right watch. Here's the deal. Too much of its value and price tag are tied to this fitness tracking. If you're not going to use it for fitness tracking, then you're paying too much. And in that case, the S44 for $100 less is probably the better choice. So these were the 5 reasons not to buy the Garmin S50. Now don't get me wrong, the S50 is an amazing watch, but before you buy, you really have to think about what you're going to need it for. If you just want a great basic golf watch, the Garmin S44 gives you almost all the same golf features as the S50, but for $100 less. And if you want the best golf experience, just buy the Garmin S70. I think you'll be happier in the long run. Now for some golfers, the S50 is perfect, but only if you plan to track your fitness and you don't mind the subscription model. But the good news is there's definitely a right Garmin golf watch just for you. It's just that you shouldn't be too quick to assume that it's the S50. Guys, let me know in the comments if there's another popular golf product that you want to hear a counter argument against. There's a good chance I've probably checked it out this year and have some other opinions. Guys, thanks for watching the video today. If you can do me a favor, can you like and comment down below? Really, what Garmin watch are you using? I'd love to know. But if you guys want to see what happened when I use the Garmin S70 out on the course and put it through its paces, then check out this video right here.